The Sudanese Civil War was a long and complex conflict that lasted for decades, involving various factions and shifting alliances. It resulted in a significant loss of life and displacement, with profound consequences for the nation. 1. Background and origins. The conflict can be traced back to the country's colonial history and the legacy of British rule. The establishment of an Arab-dominated government in the south, coupled with the neglect and marginalization of the non-Arab population, fueled resentment and tensions. 2 key phases and players. The war unfolded in several distinct phases, with varying actors and objectives. First Sudanese Civil War 1955 to 1972. The war began shortly after Sudan's independence. In 1956, the Onyanyia, a southern rebel group, fought for autonomy or secession from the north. The conflict ended with the Addis Ababa Agreement, granting the South limited regional autonomy. Second Sudanese Civil War 1983 to 2005. This phase witnessed the emergence of the Sudan People's Liberation Army SPLA and the Sudan People's Liberation Movement SPLM, led by John Garang. The SPLA fought for self-determination, resulting in the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement CPA in 2005, which established a semi-autonomous southern Sudan post-CPA period and Darfur conflict. After the CPA, new challenges arose, including the Darfur conflict. The war in Darfur saw the eruption of widespread violence between government-backed militias and rebel groups. 3. Outcomes and legacy. The civil war profoundly impacted Sudan, leaving a legacy of humanitarian crisis, political instability, and economic hardship. South Sudan's independence, the CPA, led to the secession of South Sudan in 2011, ending the long-running conflict. Continued violence. Despite the CPA, violence persisted in several regions, including Darfur and the Blue Nile. Internal displacement and refugees. Millions of people were internally displaced and became refugees in neighboring countries due to the conflict. In conclusion, the Sudanese Civil War was a protracted and devastating conflict with a complex history. It resulted in the independence of South Sudan but also left behind a legacy of deep-seated divisions, humanitarian suffering, and unresolved issues.